Teams from Brecksville-Broadview Heights, Hudson, and North Olmsted compete on the Nordson Academic Challenge. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Thanks for joining us as we continue to celebrate season number 55 of the Nordson Academic Challenge. I am your host, Rob Powers. The challenge of the show, the same as it's always been. 3 local high school teams compete for points. We're answering questions. We've got math, science, history, a few other topics as well. Let's hear it one more time. Today's teams, Brecksville-Broadview Heights, Hudson, and North Olmsted. Each team playing for a chance to make it onto our leaderboard. Let's take a look at the standings as of today. At the end of the season, the 3 highest scoring teams will be right back here for the chance to be crowned champions of season number 55. Oh, and they get some money for their school as well. A $6,000 grant from Nordson. Let's get it all started with the lightning round. All 3 teams compete here. We award 20 points for a correct answer. We will subtract 20 points for an incorrect or no answer. Let's start every team with 100 points. All set? Hello, sunshine. You might want to put some sunscreen on right now. All the questions deal in some way with the sun. Ready? This is the planet closest to the sun. Brecksville-Broadview Heights.
Mercury.
That is correct. He was the Greek sun god. BBH.
Apollo.
Helios. She wrote A Raisin in the Sun. Hudson.
Sylvia Plath.
Lorraine Hansberry is the answer there. This Shakespearean character says Juliet is the sun. BBH.
Romeo.
That is correct. In the U.S., we first see the sun rise in this easternmost state. Hudson.
Maine.
Maine is correct. The sun's core turns hydrogen into this noble gas. BBH.
Helium.
Helium is correct. To the nearest million miles, the sun is this far from the Earth. BBH.
93 million.
That is correct. The sun melted the wax wings of this mythical Hudson.
Icarus.
Icarus is correct. The NBA Suns are from this Arizona Hudson.
Phoenix.
That is correct. For our final lightning round question from the exhibit developer at the Great Lakes Science Center, here is Emily Schechter.
At the Great Lakes Science Center, we've been preparing for our April celebration that will highlight what solar phenomenon that is a crucial element in Mark Twain's A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court.
Hudson.
Eclipse.
Eclipse is right, and that's the end of that round. Nice job, everybody. We'll be back with more of the 55th season of the Nordson Academic Challenge right after this.
Nordson is honored to sponsor a program that celebrates academic excellence. We're a global industrial technology company with a long and proud history of giving back to the communities where we live and work. We donate 5% of our U.S. pre-tax profit to charity every year. Over the past 30 years, the Nordson Corporation Foundation has donated more than $100 million, and our employees have volunteered more than 100,000 hours. And now, we're pleased to support the legacy of Academic Challenge. Thank you all for watching, and the best of luck to all the participants.
Welcome back to the Nordson Academic Challenge. If you'd like more information about any of the schools that appear this season, you can scan the QR code you see on the upper right-hand corner of your screen with your cell phone. That takes you to the news5cleveland.com Academic Challenge page. We have links for all this season's schools' websites right there. For us now, we play Hot Picks. One at a time, I ask each team 8 questions. A correct response here, worth 20 points. There's no penalty here for a wrong answer. Any team answering all 8 questions correctly will receive 25 bonus points. We're going to start with Brecksville-Broadview Heights. Will, you're the captain. Tell us about yourself.
I'm Will. I'm a senior. I play baseball and golf, and I'm the president of our school's Key Club.
Welcome here this morning, Will. Hi, Alex.
My name is Alex. I'm a senior and I play tennis.
Good for you. Elena.
My name's Elena. I'm a junior and I play piano and do fencing.
Welcome to all 3 of you. For your questions, we go to Charlie, the captain of Hudson. Charlie, envelope 1, 2, 3, or 4?
2.
2. Okay. Brecksville-Broadview Heights, reminder, these questions are all yours. All set? Here we go. In the Edgar Allan Poe story, The Black Cat, the cat has what same name as the former 9th planet in our solar system?
Pluto.
That is correct. In 1969, a fisherman set a record when he caught a 99-pound example of what sort of fish that also names a Massachusetts cape?
Cod.
That is correct. For several years following the signing of the Declaration of Independence, what articles served as a governing document for the 13 former colonies?
The Articles of Confederation.
That is correct. Let's go to the monitor. Here's your science question. As an automobile accelerates uniformly, there will be no significant change in which of these?
Inertia.
That is correct. Both daffodils and jonquils belong to a genus name for what mythical youth who fell in love with himself and spurned the love of Echo?
Narcissus.
That is correct. After spending months in the Pacific, author Rupert Brooke wrote a poem called Waikiki in what traditional verse form that has 14 lines?
Sonnet.
That is correct. Back to the monitor. Here's your math question. What number should be added here to obtain a perfect square?
16.
That is correct, and that was big. This is for the bonus points. In Robert Peck's novel Fawn, you can read the story of Ethan Allen's 1775 capture of what major fort in upstate New York? Answer?
Ticonderoga.
That is correct for the bonus points. There you go. Okie doke. Up next, the team from Hudson. Welcome, Hudson. Welcome, Charlie. Tell me about yourself.
My name's Charlie. I'm a senior, and I do band and speech and debate.
Well, welcome this morning, Charlie. Hi, Luke.
I'm Luke. I'm an avid writer and photographer. I'd like to give a huge shout out to my family for being here, as well as my team. They're like my personal cheerleaders.
There you go. I'm sure they appreciate it. Good for you, Luke. Hi, Sam.
Hi, I'm a senior. I'm an Eagle Scout, and I'm the president of Science Olympiad and Math Club.
Welcome, Hudson High School, to Academic Challenge. For your questions, we go to Andrew. You're the captain of North Olmsted. Envelope 1, 3, or 4?
We'd like 1.
1. You got it. Hudson, these questions are all yours. All set? Here we go. Periodic explosions of magnetic energy 80,000 miles above the Earth result in the sudden brightening of what colorful polar phenomenon?
Yes. Aurora Borealis.
That is correct. Back in the 17th century, Pope Clement ruled that it was permissible for Catholics to drink what caffeinated beverage ground from roasted beans?
Coffee.
That is correct. Humans aren't the only ones who sing about romance. So do the males of one species of what small flying mammals who sing to attract a mate?
Sure. Bats.
Bat is correct. Let's go to the monitor. Here's your science question. If somebody at the dinner table asked you to pass the C12H22O11, would you oblige by passing the salt, the sugar, or the butter?
Sugar.
That is correct. George Washington did not get a driver's license when he was 17, but he did get a license to practice what profession involving measurement?
Surveyor.
That is correct. A hyena, an orangutan, a zebra, and a tiger named Richard Parker end up in a lifeboat with a 16-year-old boy in what novel by Jan Martel?
The Life of Pi.
That is correct. Back to the monitor. Here's your math question. In each of the base angles of an isosceles triangle equaling 50 degrees, what is the size in degrees of vertex angle X?
80 degrees.
That is correct, and that was big. This is for the bonus points. In casting a play about Abe Lincoln, you would look for a short, stocky actor to portray what little giant who defeated Lincoln for the Senate?
Stephen Douglas.
Stephen Douglas is correct. There's the bonus points. Okay, 2 for 2. North Olmsted, you are up. Team from North Olmsted, welcome to Academic Challenge. Hi, Andrew.
Hello. I'm the captain of the tennis team, and I'm the president of French Club.
Good for you. Daedric, good morning.
I'm the junior captain of the bowling team and a member of the marching band.
Welcome this morning to you. Hi, Vaughn.
I play tennis and I run cross country.
Hey, all 9 of you, so busy. Thanks for making time for us today on Academic Challenge. That's great. For your questions, North Olmsted, we come back to Will, the captain of Brecksville-Broadview Heights. Will, we have 3 and 4.
It's at 4.
4. That lonely number 3 again. There we go. North Olmsted, all yours. Here we go. The universe began in a violent explosion 13.7 billion years ago, according to a popular cosmic theory, with what 2-word alliterative name?
Big Bang.
That is correct. It was at the 1944 Dumbarton Oaks Conference that plans were made for what international peacekeeping organization now headquartered in New York?
Red Cross.
The United Nations is the answer there. That's okay. Political partisanship may have reached a new low when the president of Yale threatened to revoke the degree of any graduate who voted for what third president?
Jefferson.
That is correct. Let's go to the monitor. Here's your science question. Which of these elements with atomic number 22 is a strong metal used in everything from bone surgery to jet engines to bicycles?
Titanium.
That is correct. Henri Becquerel shared the 1903 Nobel Prize with what husband and wife team known for their work in radioactivity?
Curie.
That is correct. Stephen King placed many of his stories in Maine, but the title of one of his books links hearts to what legendary island that disappeared thousands of years ago?
Atlantis.
That is correct. Back to the monitor. Here's your math question. What integer lies midway between -1 and +3?
1.
That is correct. An old map of Africa might show the Gold Coast, a British colony that is now what independent country whose capital is Accra?
Ghana.
Ghana is correct. Nice round, North Olmsted. Nice round, all three teams. And we'll be right back with more academic excitement right after this.
Places.
Let's say hello to today's judge from Cuyahoga Community College, Dr. Kit Kurtz, adjunct instructor in religious studies at Tri-C. Dr. Kurtz, back for a second straight week. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. And we welcome you back to the Nordson Academic Challenge. Before we start the next round, we're going to take a look at our scores so far. In second place with 240 points, North Olmsted, and a tie for first right now with 345 points, Brecksville-Broadview Heights and Hudson. But hold on. Time to go head-to-head once again. This is our picture-perfect round. Each correct answer here is worth 20 points. For a wrong answer or no answer, we take away 20 points. This is for all three teams. Hands on the buzzer, eyes on the big monitor downstage. All set? Here we go. Cezanne titled this painting Still Life with a plaster statue of what young god of love? The Brecksville-Broadview Heights.
Cupid.
That is correct. The red square on this chart covers what metal that forms strong alloys used in bank vaults. Its symbol is MN. BBH.
Manganese.
That is correct. Paul Gauguin painted this family on what South Pacific island where he did most of his major work? Answer is Tahiti. What is the next number in this sequence? Hudson.
40.
40 is correct. Pictured here is what 18th century Prussian king, that's Hudson.
Frederick the Great.
Frederick is correct, yes. This little rhyme comes from what American poet whose longer works include Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening? BBH.
Frost.
That is correct. This is hematite, which the ancient Greeks thought could correct what medical condition from which hemophiliacs suffer? BBH.
Blood clotting.
That is correct. Bleeding or non-clotting, yes. Cleveland Magazine envisions our city in the future, and no, those are not giants in the left corner of this cover. They are windmills, an easy mistake to make if you're which title character in a title? BBH.
Don Quixote.
That is correct, and that's the end of that round. Way to go, everybody. Don't go anywhere. Our grab bag round to determine today's winner. That's still coming up after we mix it up. Oh, we love our advisors on Academic Challenge. It's Zach Angeloni from Brecksville-Broadview Heights. From Hudson, it's Robert Boland and Amanda Bruner. And from North Olmsted, Mike Arnold and Cindy Byer are here this morning. Thank you so much for being here. Alrighty, time for us to mix it up. Here we go, one at a time. I ask each team 6 questions. A correct response here is worth 20 points. There's no penalty for a wrong answer in this one. Any team answering all 6 questions correctly in this round receives 25 bonus points. First up, Brecksville-Broadview Heights. All set? Here we go. Paying bills is always good, but see if you can find hidden in this phrase the name of what small animal often kept as a pet.
Gerbil.
That is correct. These 3 events all took place in different centuries. Place them in chronological order, starting with the earliest.
Thomas Becket killed, Wounded Knee Massacre, FDR's Fireside Chats.
That is correct. You would choose this volume of an old encyclopedia to learn about what beautiful woman whose abduction is said to have caused the Trojan War.
Helen.
That is correct. Fill in the blanks with the name of a small marine invertebrate which forms atolls, and you can identify a city in Florida and a part of the Pacific where a major naval battle took place in 1942.
Coral.
That is correct. Cinnabar is the principal ore of which of these elements a metal that is liquid at room temperature?
Mercury.
That is correct. That was big. This is for the bonus points. To complete this Chinese proverb, add what fast-growing plant that is the main food of giant pandas?
Bamboo.
Bamboo is correct for the bonus points. There you go. Okay. Hudson, your turn. Hudson's up. All set? Here we go. Within this phrase, you should find the name of what equine animal known for its stubbornness?
Mule.
That is correct. Arrange these cabinet departments chronologically according to the order in which they were created.
Treasury, Commerce, Energy.
That is correct. This volume of an old encyclopedia would have material on what scientist who developed and named the temperature scale commonly used in this country?
Fahrenheit.
That is correct. If you add the right three vowels here, you will spell the name of what family prominent in Renaissance Florence?
Medici.
That is correct. Of these three peninsulas, which one is located in the Western Hemisphere?
The Yucatan.
Yes, it is, and that was big. This is for the bonus points. To complete this quotation, place in the blank space what word that describes the unseen man in book titles by Ralph Ellison and H.G. Wells.
Invisible.
Invisible is correct for the bonus points. Yeah. Okay. 2 for 2. North Olmsted, you're up. You all set?
Yep.
These are all yours. See if you can find in this healthy choice the hidden name of what long-legged bird?
Stork.
That is correct. These three battles are listed alphabetically. Rearrange them in correct chronological order.
Marathon, Yorktown, Guadalcanal.
That is correct. You would look in this volume of an old encyclopedia to get information on what Central American country once home to the Mayan civilization.
Mexico.
Guatemala. Guatemala, the answer there. By filling in the blanks here, you can name what Confederate general noted for his failed charge at Gettysburg.
Pickard.
Pickett is the answer. Is that what you said? Pickett?
No.
Okay, sorry about that. Which of these ships would you associate with the fictional Captain Ahab from Moby Dick?
A whaler.
That is correct. To complete this quote from Oscar Wilde, add what European city where you can visit the Louvre?
Paris.
That is correct. Nice round on North Olmsted. Nice round all three teams. There you go. That's the end of that round. We'll be back with our final and deciding grab bag rounds coming up right after this. Hey, welcome back to the Nordson Academic Challenge. Before we get going, let's check in with the scores. In third place, 320 points, North Olmsted. In second place, 530 points, Hudson. Leading the way right now, 590 points, it's Brecksville-Broadview Heights. But hold on. Here comes the grab bag round. This is another free-for-all. Each correct answer here is worth 30 points. A team will lose 30 points for a wrong or no answer. Again, this is for all three teams, so hands on the buzzers. All set? Here we go. Evidence of twitching legs and rapid eye movement during sleep have convinced Hudson.
REM.
No. What kind of arachnids? Also spiders, sorry. What American reaped great praise when he created the first successful mechanical reaper? Hudson.
Elias Howe.
Cyrus McCormick is the answer there. Of our 50 states, only Wyoming has a name ending with the letters ING, a distinction held among state capitals by what Michigan capital city? BBH.
Lansing.
That is correct. Pictured here is what 19th century poet whose life was captured in a play titled Hudson?
Emily Dickinson.
That is correct. What two-word term for a crippled bird refers to an elected official serving out the final BBH?
Sitting duck.
Lame duck. Lame duck. Choice. If the frequency of a sound wave is increased, will the period of that wave get shorter, longer? BBH?
Shorter.
Shorter is correct. The Model T Ford was originally available in green until Henry Ford determined that it was cheaper to paint all Model Ts what? BBH.
Black.
Black is correct. You can slide these letters around to name what French prison colony off the coast of South America, BBH.
Devil's Island.
That is correct. Applesauce squeezed from a tube was the only food eaten during the 1962 space flight of what astronaut, the first American to orbit the Earth? BBH.
John Glenn.
That is correct. What is the common logarithm for 10 million? Hudson.
7.
7 is correct. Beethoven's Piano Concerto No. 5 is known by what title that designates a monarch such as Naruhito of Japan? North Olmsted.
Emperor.
That is correct. This painting depicts the battle for what the initialed Mexican city where U.S. troops, that's it, we go right to the scores from that point. Here we go. In third place this morning with 350 points is the team from North Olmsted. In second place with 530 points, the team from Hudson. And winning today's academic challenge with a very high, very robust 710 points, Brecksville-Broadview Heights. Be sure to join us next time. We teach the teams from Magnificat, Solon, and St. Joseph Academy. Thanks for watching this one. I am Rob Powers, and we'll see you right back here next week.